How's it going, guys? Raj here. I hope you guys are doing well. I thought I'd squeeze in another video today. So today I'm talking about a Xerjoff fragrance. I'm going to be talking about a lot of Xerjoff fragrances for the foreseeable future. I'm wearing nothing but fragrances from this house, getting through my samples and my decants. So it should be an interesting period of time. So today is from a fragrance from the Oud Stars collection. A collection, I mean, which is, I don't want to say centered around oud, but it is on that sort of Arabian exotic style, and each one will have oud in them in different concentrations. Today is Fars. So I had a decant here, pretty much coming towards the end. And okay, so Fars, let's talk about pricing. It's kind of worth mentioning that because they are expensive without a doubt. 50 ml only, and will cost you around 240 euros. That's about 200 pounds, and about you're looking at maybe 300 American dollars, maybe a little bit more than that. So yeah, it's a lot of money. Uh, Notes: there is bergamot, there is lavender at the top. In the middle of this fragrance, there's geranium, jasmine, and cedar. In the base, there's amber, sandalwood, vetiver, nagarmotha, um, and oud. So it's one of those fragrances where oud is not necessarily the main player. It is a fragrance with oud in it. There are a lot of other notes in here which, for me, stand out a little bit more than the oud, and we'll get into that. So Fars, it's not an oud in the sense of a it doesn't scream. It is not a loud, in-your-face type oud like a barnyard skanky oud. This whole fragrance is on the smoother side. It is on kind of herbal. It is an herbal fragrance, I would say, and it definitely develops really nicely in the opening of the fragrance. And it's actually my scent of the day. Um, there is this kind of almost pickle-like bergamot note in there. The herbalness is coming from the lavender, and I think a little bit from the geranium as well, which adds a kind of slightly powdery quality, but it's only noticeable really when you get up close to the fragrance. The main kind of accord that I get jumping off my skin is this bergamot, this very almost super dry lavender note in there. The lavender is not floral, it's not sweet, it's almost bone dry. And it's an interesting accord. It's definitely nice in the opening. I actually prefer this fragrance as it unfolds and all the different notes come alive and um, take center stage, really, if you want to call it that way. What I then get in the middle of this fragrance is this floral quality coming from the jasmine, which is quite intense. It's like an intense bouquet. But there's another note in here, which is nagarmotha, which is, I believe, a flower grown in India. And that is a very exotic note. I don't know it very well in real life. I only know it in fragrances. And the other one, which I believe this note is also found, I think, is potentially Mona de Orio's Oud. I know there's osmanthus in there, but I think there might be nagarmotha in there. I have to double check, but it gives it this very exotic kind of. It's different. It's a very different floral that I've never come across. The whole composition is quite different, and for me, it's quite unique. There may be some imitations out there, or there may be some fragrances that Fars was based on, but I haven't found it yet. Definitely stands out for me. In the base of this fragrance, you then get a kind of warmth coming from a kind of sweet sandalwood note in there. It's on the dry side. That theme, this dry herbalness, continues throughout this whole fragrance, but it never goes too far. It still retains its smooth qualities. And then after a while, the oud comes through, and I think it definitely, I'm pretty sure this is a natural oud, but again, it's not a juicy style oud, it's not a skank oud, and I'm not sure it's my favorite type of oud scent. And I'm not even convinced it's in there in a high concentration, but it definitely is in there and adds a kind of mild skankiness, but it is still again on the smooth side. This whole fragrance is like that, and I think they've created that on purpose. It's definitely an interesting scent and definitely worth checking out. The jasmine kind of still stays there with the oud in the dry down, and that's really what I'm left with, the jasmine oud fragrance. And it is definitely good. I really like it. It's definitely on the exotic side. I'm not 100% sure whether I'm going to go and buy this fragrance. Not because I don't like it or I don't want to own it in my collection, but when it comes to Xerjoff, unless you have money to burn, you have to make your decisions pretty wisely. And there are a few other bottles from the house that I would want to get first before I get Fars. Um, so I'm working off a decant, but I still feel like I can give a good rating for this fragrance. It definitely lasts a long, long time. You know, you spray this on the evening. I picked it up in the morning after. It has good projection in the first few hours, and it's definitely a noticeable fragrance. I've got a couple of good comments, which is surprising for this type of fragrance. So this is not a compliment sort of like magnet, but you're not going to offend people. So yeah, longevity is pretty good. Projection is there. Um, yeah, I'm going to give this a rating of 8.5 out of 10. I'm still not convinced that the prices of the Oud Stars collection are kind of, you know, um, they're worth it. But it's a line worth checking out, and you'll definitely find something in there for you. This is one on the more approachable side, shall I say. So guys, let me know, have you tried this fragrance? Have you tried anything from the Oud Stars collection? There are more punchier ones in there. And if you have, let me know. I'll see you soon, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.